There's a very interesting story in the Gospels where Jesus is going through the town of Jericho, and he's about to meet the most hated man in this city. This is a man that's consumed with greed. This is a man whose God is money. This is a man whose society rejects and hates, and this is the man that Jesus came to see. It's a very interesting story, and I think it's very applicable today. Let's watch.
Remember Zacchaeus? Before Jesus showed up, he was a bad man. Everybody hated Zacchaeus. He was the chief tax collector, the worst of the worst. And he was in Jericho, which was one of the wealthiest cities in Israel. He was defrauding people, embezzling people, oppressing people. He was consumed with money. His God was greed. But he had heard about Jesus. And he had heard about his goodness. And he just wanted a glimpse of him. One glimpse of Jesus will change your life. He ran, he climbed a tree. He sees Jesus coming. That's the healer. That's the man they say is the Savior. That's the one that says he's gonna change things. And in the middle of the procession, Jesus stops and he looks up and he says, Zacchaeus, I must come to your house tonight. No one would go to Zacchaeus' house. He bought that house with stolen money, our stolen money. Don't you know who this guy is? He represents the enemy. How can you even talk to him? Of all the places Jesus is gonna fellowship, he chooses that crook, that criminal. The people all grumbled. But see, Jesus is in the rescue business. I must come to your house. I'm compelled to come to your house. Jesus invites Zacchaeus to the table. Jesus invites himself over, says, but I'll set the table. I invite you into the presence. I must be there. You need me. We don't know what was said at that dinner. We don't know what Jesus taught. We don't know what parables he said. We don't know if he corrected Zacchaeus. We have no idea. All we know is there was a table, and Jesus is the order of Melchizedek, the priest and the king, sitting at the table. And who does he invite? The one whose God is greed. But now the true God is here. And at the end, Zacchaeus stands up, and out of nowhere, out of no demand, out of the abundance of his heart, he says, Lord, right now, half my wealth I give to the poor. And if I have defrauded anyone of anything, spoiler alert, you have. If I have defrauded anyone of anything, I'm gonna restore it fourfold. Can I tell you, generosity is the response to an atmosphere of grace. See, the law would have said to Zacchaeus, you make things right, you restore it 100%, anything you took, the law would have said, and then add 20%. When you get around Jesus, generosity bubbles up that's even greater than the law. It's not about what I have to do. It's about what I want to do. And so he says, not only will I give 100%, I will give 400%. I will take half my wealth and give it to the poor right now, and then what I have left, I will restore 400% to anyone I owed. You can imagine those people grumbling before are like pumped, like, all right, the line starts here. What I'm trying to say is, when you get around the Spirit of God, when you get around the generosity of Jesus, what must spring out of you is a response of generosity. When you get around God's grace, his goodness, his faithfulness, you say, you know what? I want to help. I want to give. My forgiveness is going to have actions attached to it. And Jesus' response is amazing. Jesus says, today, salvation has come into this home. Why? Because Zacchaeus gave? Because he bought? No. Jesus is saying, see, those actions show that his heart has changed, that his response is different, that he's gonna live a brand new life. Now get ready. Greed has left, but salvation has come into this home.